Oh, goody.
Alright, what's up everybody? It is Zombies here again, and today we have another heroic fight in the Alterac Valley. This bounty is for Popsicooler, the most adorable of the boss fights. He's actually unique in that he is the only boss that does not reward a item for a merc. We got 5 new mercenaries, and 5 of their items, one each, is tied to a specific boss. Popsicooler is the only boss fight in this bunch of 6 that does not give a item reward. So that's kind of interesting thing to note. So you don't actually have to worry about getting that mercenary in the 6th slot. So you get the item unlock. So you could actually probably get away with running the exact same team that I used for the last one, the Galvangar team. Just maybe swap out Galvangar with Samuro, and you'd probably be pretty good. I decided to modify things a little bit more just because I wanted a little bit more balanced approach for the fight up to the boss. So we ended up going with Thrall, Garrosh, Sorrowfang for our main leading 3. These go pretty well together. Doomhammer, Tusks of Manaroth, and Serenite Stompers, just like last time. Then we have Grom. Grom is mainly here just because he's an orc and we can combo with him for Samuro. Samuro is definitely the star of the show of this bounty. They have 2 blues with a ton of health, so getting a really big Samuro to just keep smacking into him is really, really strong. When you're going through the bounty, you want to keep an eye out for the Wind Fury treasure with some extra stats, as if you can get that on Samuro, you are going to be in a really, really good position for the boss, as we'll see in the boss fight. But generally, you should have a pretty good time as long as you grab some orc buffs overall. And given that we're basically running full orcs, they usually should be pretty common to come up. Your odds should be pretty good there. You do want the Burning Blade on Samuro because you do want him to be getting bigger each hit, especially with Wind Fury. It ends up adding a ton of stats, which are useful because these bosses have a huge amount of health. Not so crazy in the attack, but they are casters, so it is more caster focused. It's 2 casters and 1 fighter, as well as a very large neutral taunt minion. So that is the kind of overview of what we got going here. We decided to go with Gul'dan just because, like I said, I wanted a little bit more variety because there were a lot of reds actually going up to the fight. And obviously we don't have anything that was super effective against red, so I figured this was also a good way to give us a little bit of sustain in case any of our orcs took some damage during the fights up to the boss. Gul'dan could kind of heal them up a little bit, and it ended up working out pretty well. Didn't really need him too much for the boss fight, but I do recommend just any kind of blue here as, you know, a potential last slot, just because it'll probably make your climb up to the boss a bit easier, because there are quite a lot of reds in the fights leading up to the boss, even though the boss itself doesn't have any reds in it. But that is our little overview of the comp here. If you enjoy this type of content, do remember to like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel a whole ton, and I do greatly appreciate it. But without further ado, let us get into the bounty. Alright, so we're going to dive into this bounty. This was actually kind of interesting. This was the one bounty I found so far that I think almost the getting there was like just as hard as the fight, if not harder. Obviously, these fights are never super duper hard in themselves for a team of, you know, high level or max mercenaries. However, I did find there were a lot of reds on this particular one. And our only blue was Gul'dan. Luckily, I mean, the orcs scale enough to where we can just kind of beat stuff down, so it's not too much of an issue. But you could consider a alternate backline that you could use to clear through this this initial portion here. You could probably use something like the shadow backline, maybe like a shadow Samuro type of thing. Or you could use, I mean, a variety. You could use Anduin Holy, you could use Fire even with Geddon's AoE. Just some good blue AoE I think would be very good. As you can see here, look at that, 3 protectors, so blue would be really good here for this fight. But again, it's not super hard or anything. I think it was just a little harder than some of the previous ones. Like, as you see, we lost a Merc there, but again, it's not really a big deal, especially because we have that extra slot available to us, because this one does not award an item. So we do not have to worry about having a character to get the unlock, because there is no unlock here. Normally, I probably wouldn't focus on this as much, but I figured, you know, we're doing the other 5 for the items, so I figured might as well just complete the whole set here, so that way if people are looking for just a general strategy for how to beat this boss, they have it out there. As I know there are a fair amount of people who just enjoy PvE in this game. Really hope we get some more endgame PvE stuff soon, but we'll have to wait and see. We're at the boss here though, and this is by far the cutest of the bosses, right? I love the art on this one. It's so funny. It's basically just a giant fridge. However, it is a very, very beefy giant fridge, right? Look at that. 2 attack, 310 health. All the units here actually have quite a lot of health. But we end up going with a Grom Samuro lead, and then I think we throw Sorrowfang in here as well for more scaling. And basically, as you can see, we got the Wind Fury treasure on our Samuro, so that made this fight even easier, but it's still very possible without it. Basically, you just want to focus down the big ass taunt here. Just give it a few smacks from the Samuro. Look at that. This is why you want that equipment on Samuro, because basically we were able to just kill that thing in 1 turn, and now we have a 51 attack Samuro who's going to be hitting these blues for a ton, which is important because look, it gained a bunch of health. Now it's at what, 470 health, I think? So luckily we're going to actually basically delete this thing just from our Samuro. He's just so big between the individual buffs and the buffs for our orcs. Look at that, 106, 110, 124, 128. Boom, boss down, 4 hits, easy, clap. And then these ones will just be pretty easy to clean up here with our big ass orcs. So yeah, that's orcs felt really great for this. You could probably get away with some other comps, but I really, really like Samuro as the big one. Even if you don't go with an orc theme, he is just incredibly powerful against this boss fight. So that is what I would recommend. I am going to be posting the fight number 5 today as well, since this wasn't unlocked. I do want to get the info out there for the unlocks as soon as possible. Then Drekthar will be coming on Friday morning. But that is pretty much all there is to this bounty. Pretty simple, one of the easier bounties if you have, you know, big green unit to swing at it. Like I said, next one will be up shortly here. If you enjoyed it, do remember to like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.